Welcome to the firing line, Patriots. The countdown to SHOT Show 2026 is officially in the red. If you have been paying attention to the chatter, you know the industry is about to drop a massive tactical payload. We are talking leaked schematics, insider whispers, and a complete paradigm shift in defensive firearms. The sidearm market is getting a massive overhaul, and the platforms hitting the convention floor are built for serious use applications. Today, we are taking a deep dive into the absolute most anticipated defensive tools of the year. We are going to analyze exactly what makes these weapon systems tick and why they deserve a spot in your personal defense rotation. Grab your eye and ear protection and let us get down to business. Caracal CMP9 and CMP9K. Leading the charge into the tactical space is the Caracal CMP9, alongside its ultra-compact variant, the CMP9K. As a defensive instructor, this platform has completely monopolized my attention. If your primary defensive rifle is an AR-15, but you want a dedicated 9mm subgun that feeds reliably from MP5 stick magazines, your prayers have just been answered. The full-size CMP9 runs a robust 9-inch cold hammer-forged barrel. It measures 17 inches overall and weighs in just under the 5-pound mark. But if your mission dictates high mobility, like operating out of a vehicle or staging a discreet bag gun, the CMP9K is your absolute go-to. Drop the barrel to 6 inches, condensing the entire weapon to a 14-inch package. When you are slicing the pie and clearing tight fatal funnels, stripping off that extra length is a game-changing tactical advantage. Both variants run an extremely refined advanced blowback system, chambered in the standard 9x19 NATO cartridge. Caracal is confidently claiming effective hits on area targets out to 300 meters, which is absolutely wild for a pistol-caliber system. The receivers are machined from solid billet 7075 T6 aluminum. Because they utilize standard AR trigger groups, safety selectors, and grips, your hard-earned muscle memory will transfer with zero friction. Sticks are simple, because they take legendary MP5 pattern mags, and they ship straight to your FFL with 30-round curved sticks. The muzzles are cut to a standard 1/2 by 28 thread pitch, and they come capped with an A2 birdcage. Mounting up a dedicated suppressor or a heavy-duty compensator takes 30 seconds and a wrench. Make no mistake, these are not range toys for plinking at cans. They are purpose-built truck guns designed to keep your red dot locked onto the target during rapid engagements. Steyr ATC and ATD Series. Let us cross the Atlantic and talk about what the Austrians are bringing to the table. Steyr is making a massive tactical pivot with their new ATC and ATD lineup. While the rest of the industry is obsessed with plastic striker-fired clones, Steyr is going back to its roots. They are giving us heavy metal frames, external hammers, and a brilliantly modular design that you can tune at your own workbench without paying gunsmith fees. The ATC models are thoroughbred competition blasters. We are talking heavy stainless steel construction, mated to a single action-only trigger that breaks like a glass rod at a crisp 3 pounds. Barrel lengths sit perfectly in the 5 to 6 inch sweet spot. When you run a heavy steel frame with a long slide, the recoil impulse is practically non-existent. They are even dropping the rock variants, specifically engineered with added muzzle weight to drive the gun down during rapid shot strings. The slides are heavily skeletonized and completely optics-ready, allowing you to run the hottest match-grade ammunition on the market. Steyr is putting CZ and Beretta on direct notice. Then we have the ATD series, which is tailored directly for law enforcement duty and civilian concealed carry. They drop the steel in favor of aircraft-grade aluminum, maintaining durability while saving your back. The fire control group is a traditional double-action, single-action setup, boasting a buttery 6-pound initial pull. You can spec these out from a micro-compact footprint all the way to a duty-sized long slide. They are even offering a factory-compensated carry model, giving you full-size shooting dynamics in a platform that vanishes under an untucked shirt. The most innovative feature is the completely user-swappable hammer and recoil spring ecosystem. You get to dictate the exact performance curve of your weapon, keeping it 100% reliable for the streets. Smith & Wesson Shield X Carry Comp. Let us shift focus to the concealed carry sector with the Smith & Wesson Shield X Carry Comp. Compensated micro 9s are the hottest trend right now, but Smith & Wesson actually engineered this one for real-world gunfights. The biggest flaw with putting a brake on a carry gun is the added muzzle length digging into your belt line. Smith & Wesson circumvented this completely by milling their PowerPort technology directly into a 3.6-inch barrel. You get the exact same holster footprint as the base model Shield X, but with drastically enhanced recoil mitigation. This is a polymer-framed, striker-fired defensive tool that carries 13 or 15 rounds of 9mm. My brothers and sisters trapped behind enemy lines in restricted states. Yes, a 10-round option is available. It is just under 7 inches long, stands 4.9 inches tall, and weighs 20 ounces empty. It is the absolute golden ratio for appendix carry. That Performance Center PowerPort works in tandem with a slide expansion chamber. When you break the shot, expanding gases are jetted vertically, physically pushing the muzzle down into your grip. If you ever have to deliver a controlled pair in a self-defense encounter, that porting is going to keep your sights locked onto the threat. The slide features their clear sight cut for the RMSC footprint, which deflects carbon away from your optic glass. You get an Ameriglow Lumigreen front tritium sight, aggressive serrations front and rear, and a grip texture that locks into your hands when the adrenaline dumps. Taurus GX4 Strike Bravo. Taurus is bringing some serious heat this year with the GX4 Strike Bravo. This is a masterclass in converting a concealed carry pistol into a highly capable personal defense weapon. They took the serialized fire control unit and slide from the 9mm GX4 carry and partnered with Strike Industries. They dropped that chassis into a dedicated PDW shell, integrated perfectly with the Strike FSA stabilizer brace. You keep the proven 3.7-inch barrel, 15 rounds of firepower, and the Toro optics mounting system. Because the serialized component is the internal chassis, all of your existing magazines and barrels swap right over. But the tactical advantage here is the geometry. The shell gives you a massive Picatinny rail under the dust cover for a full power weapon light. The rear of the chassis locks into a folding brace that gives you incredible stability and a solid cheek weld. In a defensive scenario, building a rigid shooting platform is critical, and this gives you carbine-level accuracy out of a handgun. Deployed, the system is 18.4 inches long and weighs just 35 ounces. Folded, it shrinks to under 10 inches and 24 ounces. It is the ultimate bug-out bag weapon. It ships with a 1/2 by 28 threaded barrel and an ambidextrous rear charging handle, so you can confidently run the gun under stress. Springfield Armory Hellcat 380 ACP. We need to have a serious conversation about the 380 ACP cartridge. Springfield Armory is dropping a Hellcat chambered in 380, and it is a massive win for the Second Amendment community. They did not just take the 9mm Hellcat and slap a weaker spring in it. They built a proprietary platform that keeps the incredible Hellcat ergonomics while completely erasing the snappy recoil that plagues tiny pocket guns. It features a 3-inch hammer-forged barrel, measures an ultra-concealable 6 inches long, and is just 1 inch wide. Empty, it weighs a staggering 16 ounces. But the true tactical advantage is the payload. Springfield engineered a flush-fit magazine that holds 11+1 rounds, and an extended baseplate that holds 13+1. That is duty-level capacity in a gun you can carry in gym shorts. It comes optics-ready for the RMSC footprint, and features those legendary U-dot sights. The secret sauce is the dual captive recoil spring system. When you combine that engineered spring weight with modern 380 defensive ammunition, the gun barely moves. For shooters with arthritis or diminished grip strength, this allows them to stay in the fight and deliver accurate hits without flinching. A modern hollow point in this caliber still delivers around 200 foot-pounds of energy, which will absolutely stop a lethal threat. Glock V Series. Now, let us address the titan of the industry. Glock is systematically gutting their catalog and launching the highly classified Glock V Series for 2026. They are taking over 30 iconic models out to pasture. The legendary Glock 17, 19, 19X, 45, and 26 are officially retired. They are being replaced across the board by the G17V, G19V, and so on. They are even rolling out V-Series models in heavy hitters like 10mm and 45 auto. Word from inside the wire is that Glock heavily modified the frame architecture to drop the bore axis even deeper into the hand. They are standardizing internal parts and refining the trigger press. But let us speak truth to power here. The entire V Series is a direct response to tyrannical legislation. Anti-gun politicians in places like California are targeting handguns that criminals illegally modify with autosears. To keep their market share, Glock was forced to completely redesign the trigger bar, the sear geometry, and the rear slide plate to physically block aftermarket switches. The real question on the firing line is whether these legal compliance changes ruin the legendary Glock trigger reset. If you trust your life to the Austrian polymer, you need to watch this space closely, because this is the new standard for the next 2 decades. Staccato Compact HD C36. We are closing this out with top-tier duty-grade hardware. The Staccato Compact HD C36 is the absolute apex predator of the 2026 lineup. If your life depends on unquestionable reliability and you want it wrapped in a premium 2011 package, pay attention. Staccato took their battle-proven HD platform and condensed it into a frame that you can easily carry every single day. It runs a thick 3.6-inch bull barrel in 9mm. It features an aluminum alloy frame that keeps the weight down to a highly manageable 24 ounces. It measures 7.1 inches in length and 4.8 inches tall. It is essentially a Glock 19 footprint, but it shoots like a tuned race gun. But the absolute genius of this platform is the magazine compatibility. The HD C36 is engineered to run flawlessly on standard Glock 19 pattern magazines. It ships from Texas with 2 15-round Metgar mags in the box. If you are a serious shooter, you probably have a dozen Glock mags laying around, and being able to run them in a high-end Staccato is a massive tactical and financial advantage. The controls are strictly professional grade. You get a razor-sharp single-action-only trigger sitting at 4 pounds, fully ambidextrous safeties, and a heavy-duty external extractor. It utilizes the Staccato Host optics system, placing your rear iron sight forward of the red dot for an incredibly fast, uncluttered sight picture. Locks into your palms aggressively, but the side panels are smoothed out to save your skin during inside-the-waistband carry. With its flat-wire captive recoil spring, this pistol is going to run like a sewing machine. That is your tactical briefing on the heavy hitters coming to SHOT Show 2026. Now, I want to hear from the real experts out there. Jump down into the comments section and let me know. Which one of these weapon systems are you willing to bet your life on, and which ones are just expensive paperweights? If this intelligence brief gave you the edge you need, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and engage that notification bell so you never miss a training session. Stay vigilant, carry every day, and I will see you on the range.